We live in very interesting times, which, unfortunately, is never a good thing. At home, we've got an election coming up between two historically unpopular candidates, one of whom is a convicted felon. And abroad, we've got potential World War IIIs just brewing up in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Globally and domestically, tensions are high. And what's unusual is, for once, North Korea has very little to do with any of it. But they don't like feeling left out.
No.
So this past week, North Korea launched an aerial attack against its enemies in South Korea. Fortunately, though, in lieu of jets and bombs, Kim Jong-un went with an attack that was less about death and destruction and more about sending a message. Here's The Guardian.
South Korea has warned residents living near the border with North Korea to be on alert after accusing the regime of sending balloons containing what appeared to be rubbish and feces into its neighbor's territory. Damn, he loves pranks.
Yeah, he's doing pranks with his friends.
Photographs released by the South Korean military on Wednesday showed inflated balloons with plastic bags tethered to them. Other images appeared to show trash strewn around collapsed balloons with the word excrement written on a bag in one photograph. By Wednesday, more than 150 balloons had been detected, according to the Yonhap news agency. Some had landed on the ground, while others were still in the air, it added, citing a South Korean military source. Some of the balloons had traveled long distances, reaching as far as the southeastern province of South Gyeongsang, it said. The fallen balloons appeared to have been carrying various items of rubbish, including plastic bottles, batteries, shoe parts, and what is believed to be manure. An official of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said, "Yeah, it's manure. We're just going to make everyone feel a little bit better about this."
That is definitely manure.
Yeah.
And not human doo-doo.
Which, well, actually, manure would be technically more dangerous. You could have a incendiary problem there.
I mean, in the proper circumstances, manure can be dangerous. But it's also much more useful.
It is.
You can take that North Korean manure. It probably has the least amount of microplastics of any manure on the planet.
That's right.
And you put that in your garden, and baby, now you're growing.
Yeah. Though it is still an international incident, very funny that he's sending doo-doo bombs over to South Korea.
Yeah. It's smart because it's like, you can't respond to this with force or you look like an asshole.
Yeah. South Korea sends balloons that have like USB drives with the Transformers movies on it or whatever. North Korea sends doo-doo and batteries.
Yeah. I think that's tit for tat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds like North Korea got wind of all that balloon drama from last year. Remember that? Balloons were all the rage. And after 16 months of research and development, they launched some balloons of their own. We figured it out.
Yeah.
Balloon technology has come to North Korea. They may not be the most high-tech balloons, but they are balloons, nonetheless, whether they carry advanced surveillance equipment or simply bags of shit and garbage. A balloon is a balloon.
Yeah.
And after an attempt this week to launch a spy satellite ended in explosive failure, it must have felt good to successfully launch something.
Even if it's a bag of shit.
They needed a win.
Yeah.
And actually, to be clear, these shit balloons were in direct response to the fact that for the past few years, North Korean defector groups in the South have been sending just a ton of balloons into the North carrying propaganda leaflets, USB drives, etc. To the point that even the South Korean government has, at some point, stepped in to tell them to please cut it out, stop pissing off the North.
They claim to have successful nukes and stuff. Like, why are we, at least don't poke it.
Let's not poke it.
Yeah, but, credit where it's due. Those citizens, they took matters into their own hands, and they are trying to deprogram at least some people in North Korea.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they haven't stopped, hence the poo balloons in response. And even now, they have no plans of stopping. So here's the Daily Beast.
North Korean defector and balloon-launching activist Park Sang-hak is planning to avenge North Korea's manure attack on South Korea, but he said he would never stoop to match their lows. "I will not react to North Korean barbarity with barbarity," Park told the Daily Beast when asked if he would shower the North with manure when he sends 200,000 balloons over North Korea in response to the North sending balloons carrying garbage, including excrement, over South Korea. "Instead, we are sending them truth and love." The message he's printed on the leaflets he's launching whenever the winds are blowing the right way for them to land in populated areas. And also presumably on or near Kim Jong-un's palatial complex near the port of Wonsan on the North's southeastern coast. "The North Korean animals sent manure to South Korea," said Park, "but we love the North Koreans." A devout Christian since escaping from North to South Korea 24 years ago, Park said he's responding to the Norse manure attack in accordance with biblical teachings, at least for now. Jesus said, turn the other cheek, he said. But if there's nothing else to do, we should kill them. Wait, what?
I don't remember Jesus saying that second part.
He went from let's get biblical to let's get medieval.
We love the North Koreans.
And that's why they must die.
And they must die.
If they keep
Not
raining...
me, though. I'm a former North Korean.
Yeah. Raining crud. If they don't stop pooping on us from the sky, we're going to have to retaliate.
Yeah. So, I mean...
I do like that he's skipping straight from, like, sending Bible verses to skipping over resending poop straight to...
No, we should send actual bombs. We should kill them all.
Yeah.
But first, that's only if we try love and it doesn't work.
And so far, it hasn't, so things aren't looking great.
Yeah. So yeah, the balloon war on the Korean peninsula shows no signs of slowing down, and it sounds like South Korea can expect even more poop deliveries. It is petty vandalism on an international scale, but poop is always preferable to global thermonuclear war.
I can already see the animated GIF in the news replies to this. It's that Willem Dafoe looking up and crying as the stuff's raining down on him. It's that's not a fun way under the constant threat of having shit dumped on you.
Yeah, it's not great. Although, I mean, like...
It's just like living in LA, I guess.
It's kind of exciting. Like
we had our own poo bandits.
If a North Korean poo balloon landed in my backyard, I mean, that'd be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's something to talk about.
Yeah, here in America, you just get jumbo jets dropping those green icebergs on top of people's houses.
Oh, it's some sort of meteorite. Look at this mineral.
Hey, can someone at the Natural History Museum tell me what this is? Sir, you're holding human feces. Yikes.
But yeah, let's move on now to a story of petty vandalism at the local level. That's, just a lot more typical. Mm-hmm. At least until you hear the details. Here's the New York Times. It had been happening for a decade. Residents of North Enid Avenue in Azusa, California would find a broken window in their house or car and a telltale ball bearing nearby. Neighbors reported hundreds of dollars of damage. Sometimes, more alarmingly, a pellet would whiz by someone outside, nearly striking them. It was, to say the least, a quality of life issue, as the police put it. It turns out the mayhem was the work of a serial slingshot shooter, according to the police. And now they say they have finally captured him. He is 81 years old.
Oh!
The suspect, Prince Raymond King, was arrested Thursday morning. A slingshot and ball bearings were found on his property, which is on the block where the crimes were carried out.
Open and shut case.
We got him.
It'd only be better if they found it in his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dennis the Menace or Bart Simpson.
What do we got? And they hold him up upside down and shake out his pockets?
Yeah. Just all like jacks and playing cards and candies all fall out.
Prince King is a great criminal name.
It is.
This guy's parents really wanted him to be successful. And they're like, well, our last name is already King. Mm-hmm. How do we...
How is he not successful? He's 83 years old.
Prince
lives
King.
in a decent neighborhood, goes on slingshot rampages, and wasn't caught until very recently. I'd say that is a success.
Living his best life, I guess.
This has to stem from the fact that he wasn't able... Maybe his neighbor, Mr. Wilson, died, so he couldn't bother him anymore.
That's the thing is like, if man's 81 years old now, he started when he was 71, but like...
Did he start when he was 71?
Right. Like, I think maybe he just moved into this neighborhood 10 years ago. Wait, I need more information.
I don't know. When was Dennis the Menace created? It was decades.
Like the comic strip, I think it was like the 50s.
Yeah, so there you go. It's this guy was heavily inspired by entertainment media being corrupt, and his brain was warped by
Dennis the Menace is the original Bart Simpson. I don't want my kids reading those.
That's literally, yes. So Azusa, it's obviously a quiet little suburban town here in LA County at the foot of the San Gabriel Mountains, but apparently not so quiet for the folks in this neighborhood who have been terrorized by BB pellets for, like Elliot said, a decade. And this goes along with all the bears swimming in their pools. And,
that's fun, though.
Yeah. And the problem was so incessant that one neighbor decided to start collecting the BBs over the years and showed local news 2 bags of them that he'd collected from just his own yard. And that's a lot of BBs. And some of them are pretty big. More control.
Yeah. You start with the little guys and you're like, oh, it just kind of goes where it wants to go.
Yeah.
You need something with more mass.
After a couple of years of this shit, you'd probably assume whatever kid is doing it would have grown out of it eventually. But no, it was an elderly man. And that might have been what gave it away. They're like, hold on. This kid should be in college by now.
How is this kid still breaking our windows?
Yeah.
Get a hobby. I thought all the kids were just on their tablets all day.
Kids will be kids until they're 81 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a kid at heart.
Mm-hmm. So it's unclear how exactly the culprit was finally caught, but we'd imagine that just getting the cops to even treat this as an issue worth looking into took years of complaints.
Yeah, no,
This is just kids being kids.
I've made the mistake of reporting literal actual gunshots to the LAPD, and they're like, well, did they sound like celebratory gunshots or like did they sound like crime gunshots? I'm like, I don't know. There's a gunshot. There's a couple blocks away. Sounds like someone has a gun and they were firing it. Like, well, I mean, listen, buddy, we can't just show up for everything. So if you're calling the cops about like BB pellets,
especially in like
okay, buddy,
like a suburban area like this, is just like, yeah, we're not going to go searching for some kids on bikes. Yeah. Turns out it's a very seemingly angry, crotchety old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man just wants to watch the world burn.
And he'd got to for quite a while, actually.
He did.
Yeah, what a crime spree.
A great run.
But finally, after so many broken windows and years of living in sheer terror, they can finally live in peace. Although I can't imagine this guy going away for very long, if at all.
Or a copycat.
Yeah. Yep. Someone needs...
Like when they caught Penis Man in Arizona.
There are many penis men.
Yeah. So, yeah, the question does still remain. Why did this 81-year-old man spend a decade of his golden years terrorizing his neighborhood like an elderly Dennis the Menace?
Who cares? He might have been doing it because he was bored. If he started when he was 71, he was probably just bored.
He just retired and he spends a week at home like, this fucking sucks.
Post office made me retire. God damn it. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go wave at people at Walmart.
Hell no.
I'm gonna cause a little chaos. You know, I used to be a little asshole in my younger years, and it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna give back to the world what the world's given to me.
Yeah.
Nothing but trouble.
You know how many dog bites and stuff I had to deal with? I have no idea if this guy worked at the post office, but...
I like that backstory.
Yeah.
Well, so now that he's been captured, hopefully we can find out exactly what the motive was here.
Yeah.
So here's the latest on how that's going from the Los Angeles Daily News. An 81-year-old Azusa man died a day after he was charged with using a slingshot to damage 7 neighbors' windows and a car since 2021. Okay?
2021? I thought it was 10 years.
Well, like the crimes were from, I guess he's, they can't charge him, they can't conclusively link him to every BB pellet. They have the evidence linking him to incidents in the last 3 years.
Typical LAPD. Yeah. They fucking arrest someone and then all of a sudden...
Yeah, well, no.
All of a sudden, he's dead.
It's circumstantial evidence. Like, yes, this man was caught red-handed with a fucking slingshot and a bunch of BBs. And yes, all of the surrounding houses in his neighborhood had literally hundreds of BBs just strewn about their property. But that's simply correlation. It is it is not a conclusive link.
Yeah, I just say it's a little suspicious that the LAPD gets involved and this guy's fucking dead.
It is suspicious. Azusa police received a call around 7:30 a.m. Wednesday of a possible dead person at a home on the 500 block of North Soldano Avenue and found Prince Raymond King inside. Sergeant Nick Covarrubias said, "We didn't find any evidence of foul play," he said. Covarrubias didn't know who owns the home. King died of arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease, according to the medical examiner's office, which ruled the death as natural.
So, I mean, he completed all of his tasks in life. I mean, once he got caught, what else is there to live for? Yeah. That was the one thing. I mean, this is proof. That was the one thing keeping him going, was hatred of his neighbors, spite, and getting away with it.
Listen, I would love to stop vandalizing all of your homes and vehicles. But if I stop doing this for even one day, my heart, this is my crank.
Yeah.
If I stop doing vandalism, I die.
All those neighbors,
I hope you neighbors feel good.
You killed an old man.
You killed a nice old man who just happened to have a slingshot.
Even if this was my neighborhood, and even if I had like a broken window at some point over these things, like I would still feel at least a little guilty that I died immediately. Like, holy shit.
So I guess we'll never know why he did it. I mean, all we know is that as soon as he stopped, he fucking died.
Yeah.
Maybe the slingshot was the only thing keeping him alive.
I mean, back to that kind of evidence.
My work here is done. I mean, when you're that age, like you need purpose.
Yeah, a hobby.
You need a hobby. You need interests. Because if you don't...
Plus the thrill of getting away with it for so long.
Yeah, that was his daily rush of all of the hormones that he needed to keep on pumping away.
To honor this man, I think that... never mind, I'm not going to say it and get in trouble on the internet. I think that we should have an honorary BB slingshot, a 21 slingshot salute.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a lot safer.
Aimed away from where any people are.
Yes. Away from windows, or at the very least, like set up a window, like just go down to the hardware store and like just get up one window and have the neighbors come out and just...
And like, to be clear, like with a good enough slingshot and a big enough ball bearing, you absolutely can fucking kill someone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's actually a miracle that no one seems to have been harmed.
Well, maybe he was actually skilled. I mean, 10 years of doing this, and you would imagine that he'd gotten pretty accurate at it.
Yeah.
So he knows just what it takes to scare and intimidate and have a little fun and not threaten anyone's life.
The people of Azusa have been too comfortable for too long.
Yeah.
I found my purpose, and I'm about to give them purpose.
Yeah. Well, the city of Azusa can rest easy tonight.
Yeah.
Knowing that they killed their neighbor over some broken windows.
What he needed was like an elderly, like 81-year-old, like Batman.
Yes.
On his trail.
Mm-hmm.
Two old dudes on opposite ends of the law.
I can't wait to get that old. I'm going to get in so many hijinks.
Oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Oh, you're going to arrest an old man? How about this? You do it, I'll fucking die.
I might just croak
this
the day after you arrest me.
This is what's keeping this alive. I can shut it down at any time. So
we've covered international vandalism and local vandalism so far, but now let's talk about nautical vandalism.
My favorite kind.
So those orca attacks on boats off the Iberian coast for the last few years, they've been one of the most fascinating ongoing news stories that we've seen, primarily because they sort of just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, for the first time in recorded history, massive killer whales seem to have finally decided, fuck them boats, and realized that they're actually pretty damn good at it. For orcas, destroying boats is easy and fun, and once they got a taste for it, no boat was safe. But still, much like the old man with the slingshot, the motives have remained unclear. Obviously, every animal on this planet is well within their rights to want humanity to suffer. But why orcas? Why now? Why the Iberian coast? Well, the orca experts, they've had ample time, they've done their research, and they have now weighed in. Here's USA Today.
For the last 5 years, killer whales have been ramming, and in some cases sinking, expensive yachts, fishing boats, and motorboats in the crystalline waters off the coast of Spain, Portugal, France, and Morocco. Why has been a mystery until recently. A multinational group of orca experts that met in February and were sponsored by the governments of Spain and Portugal has released a report outlining why they think it's happening and what can be done to stop it. What originally appeared to be attacks on more than 673 boats since 2020 now seem more likely to be a bunch of bored teenage orcas looking for something to do, said cetacean expert Alexandri Zerbini. Essentially, the whales started a fad of playing with boat rudders. The report comes 2 weeks after the first ramming of the season, which resulted in a sailboat sinking at the southern entrance to the Strait of Gibraltar. On the morning of May 12th, a group of orcas snuck up on a 50-foot sailboat and dove at its rudder, damaging the Alboran Cognac and causing a leak that eventually sank the boat. The 2 crew members were evacuated to a nearby oil tanker, according to the Spanish newspaper El País.
So this has been always one of the prevailing theories, essentially just the orca version of a TikTok trend. Mm-hmm. The Sink a Boat Challenge.
Yeah.
The other leading theory was that this was a coordinated act of revenge in response to an orca getting seriously injured by a boat. But scientists have since said that that theory is unlikely. It's more likely they're just goofing around.
Nope, I don't like it.
They're just having a laugh.
No, I like the previous theory, and who are they to assume what these orcas are thinking, these brilliant animals?
So anyway, back to the article. This group of orcas interacts with the vessels because they are being enriched by the experience, said Renaud de Stefanis, president of CIRC, Conservación, Información y Estudios sobre Cetáceos, an organization dedicated to preserving marine life. De Stefanis has been studying orca behavior for over 25 years and was also at the gathering of scientists in Madrid. The sea is a very boring place for an animal, said De Stefanis. Imagine if you're a dog or some other mammal. You can interact with objects around you, but in the sea, there's not much for the orcas to interact with, so they play with the rudders. Overall, the incidents have mostly involved juveniles who are more playful and courageous in approaching boats, said Zerbini, who also chairs the International Whaling Commission's scientific committee. He imagines a young orca butted its head against a boat's rudder one time, and when it moved, the orca thought, this is fun. After ramming it a few more times, a piece of the rudder broke off, and that was even more fun because there was something to play with. There's documented evidence of the orcas then playing with the pieces, he said.
I'm also sure that they enjoyed hearing the people on the boats yelling and telling them to stop, but not being able to physically do anything at all.
Well, or they heard people screaming on the boat like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. Ah! But in whale song, that sounds like, oh.
It's a beautiful
They're
song.
saying, keep going.
Yeah.
They're saying, you're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
We're all having a great time.
Yeah.
And when the boat sinks, why, that's just more stuff to play with.
Mm-hmm. More toys.
So yeah, the ocean is a boring place, but it's always been boring. So that doesn't explain why these attacks suddenly picked up in the past couple of years. But here is what does explain that. This particular population of Iberian killer whales is critically endangered, in part because its primary prey were bluefin tuna that had long been overfished and were in decline. That meant the orcas had to spend lots of time hunting and feeding, leaving little space for the kind of play juveniles are known for. Better protections have meant the tuna population rebounded in recent years. Climate change may also play a role, leading the tuna to be abundant in the Gulf of Cadiz year-round rather than seasonally. This year-round abundance means that there appears to no longer be a need for the whales to pursue every fish encountered, the report said. That was good for the orcas, but may be the cause of the problems for boaters, said Zerbini. Effectively, the killer whales have time on their hands, he said, so they'll go start playing with rudders.
So yeah, they brought back the tuna population. Good. Now the whales are like, wow, it used to take us like days to find like a good tuna to eat. Now they're just fucking everywhere. I'm like, all right, I'm full. Well, what do you want to do now?
Yeah.
Let's go fuck up some boats, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Let's go get into some good trouble.
I can't believe the whale economy was bad, and that's what stopped them from acting normal. They're like, no time for fun.
Yeah.
We've got to work. And for them, working is eating and hunting.
Nobody wants to hunt anymore. Whoever the version of like the Federal Reserve, the Treasury Secretary for the ocean needs to raise those interest rates.
Yeah.
It's gotten too easy for these killer whales.
Yeah. We're going to try to do a soft landing on these ship attacks.
But anyway, they go on to explain that orcas, being highly social animals, are prone to fads, with one notable previous fad being orcas in the Pacific Northwest wearing dead salmon on their heads as hats. It was a fashion trend that started with young orcas before spreading throughout the community and eventually going away, presumably because the adult orcas were doing it, therefore making it less cool.
All you need is one big old orca to rip a rudder off.
Oh, hey guys, look at my, I got the dead salmon on my head.
Pretty cool, huh? Oh, God, that's so cringe.
Ugh.
God.
That's chuggy.
Yeah. Ugh.
So anyway, they theorize that this fad will also eventually die off. However, by that same logic, it sounds like a bunch of full-grown adult orcas are going to need to start ramming boats for that to happen, which is bad news for boats, I guess, in the short term. In order for this to stop, the teenage ones that started it need to decide that it's not cool anymore. Mm-hmm. And that means the biggest orca in the sea needs to destroy a bunch of boats.
Hey guys, look, skibbity rudder, skibbity rudder.
Yeah, cringe.
Dab.
But the scientists, they've also issued a few suggestions for avoiding orca attacks, one of which is basically just attaching stringy material to rudders to make them look like jellyfish. And another is hanging these little torpedo-shaped weights underwater from the backs of boats, which I guess has been shown to deter orcas for some reason.
Sure.
I don't know why, but it works. They don't like it. So try that. We'll see if any of this shit works because it's orca attack season.
Yeah.
It's coming,
There should be more. Hello, orcas, wake up.
Yeah.
They're figuring it out. You got to hurry.
Got to up your game now.
Headlines are coming up, but first, click the join button or the thank button.
Think about it.
There's no sponsor this week, so it's up to you to sponsor the show. Thank you to everyone. I saw in the last episode a bunch of comment thank yous. And,
thank you for your service.
Very, very appreciative. We love you very much. Thank you. Now let's get into the weirdest, wildest, craziest headlines from around the world this week, starting with Elliot. Please take it.
Pope Francis apologizes over use of gay slur, Vatican says.
And okay, there's
a lot happening here.
First of all, welcome to Pride Month, everyone.
The analysis of this story is very interesting.
Points to maybe the Pope and his buddies potentially being involved in the gay community.
The funniest interpretation of this I saw was a dude, like, in English, being like just super flamboyantly like, "What's up?" slurs, and then they're like, "Francis, that you?" was like, "Oh, no, that was like basically he was using a term that is a gay."
It's a slur, but used by the community.
It's a term that's like so antiquated that really you'd only hear it used in this way within the gay community.
Yeah.
And essentially, like, it sounds like basically they were once again debating whether like priests can be openly gay at some private meeting. And again, the answer was no. But Francis was like, for now, though, can you guys just like keep the F...
Yes.
Keep know
what he's talking about.
Keep the stuff to a bare minimum.
Yeah.
Just chill out with the
Yeah, the reports that I saw were like essentially only a gay man would say that. So who knows? He just wants it on the down low, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's been I think the unofficial stance for a long time.
Well, happy Pride Month, everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, and just like clockwork, I was like, this is too on the nose now. Like, every corporation's not going to do their big post. And they did. I woke up this morning and it was like, on Instagram, it was just post after post after post, which is great, obviously, but do not open the comments. I am begging you, if you have any hope for humanity and want to just blindly get through this next couple of days where everyone's very actively being dickheads online, just don't look at the comments. The MLB and like NASCAR and some others posted this morning, and I actually lost faith in a lot of sports fans who I thought at this point would be like at least okay with seeing, like, they know it's coming.
Yeah.
And this
is the majority of people just don't care either way. Like, they're not gonna jump on the comments and be like, hell yeah. They're just gonna be like, who cares?
Yes.
So what you get is the most just insecure, hateful people around. There is a lot of discussion. I hadn't considered this, but like the Trump verdict coming up right before the start of Pride Month has a lot of people worried that the people who are mad about that verdict are going to lash out at the first available target.
Yeah, there was what would, you would assume, constitute a very real threat on Twitter during some Pride Month stuff already. So yeah,
stay safe out there.
Yes, and also stay out of the comment sections. Not ours, though. Very loving.
We have a great comment section.
Be very nice down there in our comment section.
Yeah.
Next headline, though. Richard Dreyfuss caught wearing a dress before sexist and homophobic rant at Jaws screening.
All right, Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
Acclaimed Academy Award-winning actor. Richard. Yeah, he... I always thought Richard Dreyfuss was like a pretty standard like Hollywood lib, but he... like many other people, like his age just got fucking brainworms apparently. And he like shows up at this like Jaws screening. Everyone's like so excited to see Richard Dreyfuss. He just comes out like wearing a dress and then immediately like launches it into like just a bunch of rants about like trans people and like DEI and shit. And more than anything else, it would just be disappointing as a fan of the movie to like see that classic film Jaws, one of the greatest movies ever made, and
have it ruined.
And one of the actors comes out and it's like, without any prompting, just decides to make it about that shit. And he's like up there like saying that like parents of trans kids are bad parents and stuff. It's like, what? It's this...
Sir, you're here for the screening of the Shark movie.
It's this very like boomer thing, specific to boomers, that like when they get...
Well, he probably doesn't have a platform to really like express these opinions.
No,
he's like, finally, someone's going to listen to me.
He has a Twitter. He's pretty active on it,
but what I'm saying, like a live audience or whatever.
Okay, but like it's that boomer thing of once they get like an idea in their head that they are fixated on, like especially politically, they will bring that up unprompted in the most inappropriate situations, out of fucking nowhere, making everyone else in the room uncomfortable. And this is just one of the more jarring examples.
Yeah.
I know you guys came here to ask me questions about Jaws, but I have some other stuff on my mind.
Yeah. Let's talk about the real shark in the room. These gays.
World's first tooth regrowing drug will be given to humans in September.
Let's go, baby!
I'm going to be pulling mine out because I still have all my teeth, but like they're old, they're worn out. I want a new one.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to grow my wisdom teeth back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't painful enough the first time.
Get them back in there.
I'm so fascinated by this. I don't understand. So like basically like once you once you're born, like you have genes that tell your body to grow teeth. Then eventually those genes turn off, and this basically is like a gene therapy that like can activate the keep growing teeth genes. And like I think
Bill, don't be. You got to be careful because you will end up like a shark.
Well, I think there is like diseases. People have disorders where their body doesn't know to stop growing teeth.
Well, it grows in weird places, like their ears and their vaginas. We've all seen the movie.
Exactly. So yeah, this is very exciting for the people out there without teeth.
Yeah.
Maybe Boogie can get some teeth for real this time.
God. Yeah, that's like, I mean, on the darker sides of the internet, you can see the photos, but there's like, people will cut off like tumors and stuff at the hospital, and they'll find just like full sets of teeth.
Yeah, I think they're called hematomas.
So it's just, they're growing somehow, they just don't know where to go.
Well, yeah, that's like a weird thing where...
We should just be harvesting like teeth from tumors.
Yeah, there's like teeth, hair, like there's just like all these, it's like basically your body like gets confused and like tries growing like a fetus in your skin, but like it's just sort of mashing all of the genes together.
You know what sucks? Like being bald and then having like a tumor cut off and like there's just a full head of hair in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God damn it.
Doc, can you do something about that?
Look, it just got lost. It's not, this isn't like a God thing. God obviously, he wanted me to have hair.
Yeah.
He just put it in the wrong place. So, you're either going to fix this or I'm going straight to Turkey. Toronto renamed Centennial Park Football Stadium after Rob Ford. Perfect. No notes.
It's always, like, he's been dead for a while, right?
Yeah. Years at least.
Like 8 years, I think.
Yeah.
It's so funny, though, because, like, during his entire scandal of just being very publicly being a complete fucking, like, drug addict, alcoholic mess, the people of Toronto, they stood
He's our
by
mess.
him. Yeah, they love him. They loved him so much that they elected his brother, his shitty brother, not Tom Ford, that's the designer.
Yeah. Doug Ford?
Doug Ford. He's like the premier of Ottawa. And,
what's going on in Toronto? They got Drake, they got the Fords.
I don't know. But yeah, I also, like, I was looking into this, and, like, Rob Ford, he's like 45 when he died. And he looked a lot older than that.
Yeah.
Because, like, when that scandal was going on, he was like 40.
Well, he was smoking crack in like crack dens, so it probably ages you quite a bit.
Smoking crack and obviously like very obese at the time as well. Yeah, so...
Did you see that CNN commenter got in trouble for calling Trump obese?
What?
Yeah, I read that and I was like, okay. They're like, oh, please don't use that language on there. Like, what? He's an elderly obese man.
I don't know if he's obese anymore.
Well, no, he's
on the Ozempic. Yeah.
Which, like, actually, that's inaccurate. Get out.
Yeah. Trump actually, like, I feel like people said this at the time, and I think there might be something to it. Like, the Ozempic Trump, part of his appeal was that jolly, like, plumpness.
Yeah. He needed this guilty verdict to reinvigorate his base.
He ate so many hamburgers after that verdict. He was in it. It was like that picture of him with all the McDonald's, but like only for him.
Yes.
No one else. Look at this.
They said I can't finish the whole table, folks.
Oh man, if
he
gets elected again, imagine the fast food spreads that he'll have for the NCAA champions.
Not anymore. He'll blame Bidenomics, the fact that he can't get as many hamburgers anymore.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh well.
Man with suspended license astonishes judge by joining court Zoom call while driving.
This has become like the meme of the summer so far. There's people doing paintings, like all kinds of things. It's already a response meme, GIF. The Trump verdict was, people were using it all over it.
I wish we could show it, but one of the places I saw it said like via Storyful.
Oh,
and I'm like, no, first of all, how the fucking Storyful like even like copyright?
It's a public court case thing, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to fuck with it because if they will copyright claim the video immediately.
And we need this money.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just this guy calling into court, clearly in the driver's seat, and the judge just being so that calm elderly black man energy of just like, I'm just gonna slow walk this.
Yeah.
Just gonna. So what are you doing?
I'm pulling in.
So okay.
Don't worry, I'm almost there.
And yeah, he's like, and so this was over a suspended license, correct? He's like talking to the lawyer, and he's like, so is he driving a car? His lawyer's like, yes, he is. And immediately he's like, all right, so you got to you're going to jail. But because It's so funny, like over Zoom. So he's like, you have to report to jail by this hour. And the guy's just sitting in his car and you just see on his face, he's like, oh, fuck. God damn. It's just like, damn, I really thought I could get away with this.
Well,
I'd like to know, like, what happened? Because he said he was going to a doctor's office. Assuming that's true, did he just, like, double book himself? Maybe he's got...
You know how hard it is to get a court date and a doctor's appointment?
Yeah, like, maybe he's got one of those HMOs where you got to book, especially for minor stuff, you got to book that, like, 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
And he's like, well... So maybe he just...
I can do both.
Timed it wrong.
You know what? I really can do it all.
Yeah. Maybe not, though.
Oh, man. Well, a funny video
Yeah.
regardless. Feel bad for the guy, but...
I don't. Like, what are you thinking? Really thought he could get a fast one on this judge, like literally sitting in his car while it's moving.
He like, no, it's parked and I'm doing a food review for TikTok.
Yeah.
This is my
studio.
Yes. Nurse fired for calling Gaza war genocide while accepting compassion award.
A little too much compassion.
Yeah.
No, we didn't mean like that.
Not that compassion. That's the wrong stuff.
She's also like, she's a nurse specifically in works with like pregnant women and women who've like recently lost their pregnancies. Mm-hmm. So obviously like a very clear thread from the compassion of the like work she does for a living and the fact that, women and children are being absolutely slaughtered.
Some might say she has a lot of empathy for for humans in general.
So yeah, she gets this award. She brings that up. Immediately fired.
There was also someone in the UK that was fired for simply liking social media posts.
She wasn't. She was removed from the Labour Party.
No, okay.
She was. The Labour Party kicked her out because she literally hit the like button on a Daily Show clip.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah.
The UK, like as fucked as everything is here, like the UK seems like a hellish place to be. Their justice system is fucked up. Their politics are fucked up.
Yeah, they're consistently more and more isolated.
Their
because
libel
of Brexit.
laws. Yeah, their libel laws are ridiculous. J.K. Rowling is a TERF.
I
can say it.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Man who transformed into a dog says he wants to become another animal.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this guy.
Yeah.
Spent like a ton of money on that dog suit.
Yeah.
And it's genuinely like, if you saw that from more than 15 feet away, you'd say, oh, that's a dog.
The Great Dane. Beautiful animal.
Well, no, it's a collie.
Well,
he's picked a smart dog breed.
Well, he's big though.
Right, but he's a Japanese man, and collies get big, so he evens out. But he picked a smart dog, a very furry dog. The only thing is, like, because of how he has to fit into it, he can't really run.
No.
He can only sort of kind of trot at best. But yeah, after achieving full dogness, he's like, all right, well, what do I do now? I guess I got to start over with a new animal.
He's going to go through the entire reincarnation chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually ending up, what is it, a tiger or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tiger would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He might get like sedated and dragged off to a zoo, but...
Yeah, but that'd be so validating.
Yeah.
Wow. Really fooled him.
I was just pretending to be a tiger.
Naked on a plane. Man arrested after alleged nude aisle run forced plane to turn back.
Man, stop messing around on planes, everybody. No one's happy on a plane.
Yeah, no, we've seen a lot of shit over the years, but yeah, just not often you see people get naked on planes and then just run up and down the aisle. Woo! He knocked over a flight attendant too.
That's not fun.
Pretty sure he was Australian.
Well, okay, never mind. That explains it.
Yeah, they're descended from criminals, so
Los mi plagas.
They're genetically prone to acts of criminality.
I don't think that. I love our Australian viewers.
Well, not ours, but the other ones.
Did you see the fight at the new Spirit Airlines fight dropped in the checkout area or the bag check area? Fucking wild, dude.
It's the Greyhound bus of the sky.
And it's, summertime heating up. Everyone's losing their fucking minds. Mm-hmm. It's chaos summer again. Canadian walking her dog finds more than 40 rotisserie chickens in the woods.
It's similar to, remember that spaghetti in the woods in Jersey last year? And our theory was that it's the spaghetti man, the spaghetti monster. It's a cryptid. So maybe Canada has a chicken man.
Yeah, or someone's trying to like beat that Philadelphia guy's chicken challenge.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But they gave up.
Yeah.
In any case, dumping food in the woods in New Jersey, not nearly as bad as dumping meat in the woods in Canada, where they have fucking grizzly bears and wolves.
Careful.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to be around that chicken when it gets found by a hungry bear.
And I'm sure since it's a rotisserie chicken, it smells real good to them.
Oh, yeah. The bears, they're floating in the air with the scent lines. Yeah, like Yogi Bear.
Herbs. Herbs.
It's so juicy.
Lemon pepper, you say?
How do they keep it so juicy?
Wow. These humans are onto something. I should go visit more human places.
I should go bust in on a lot more people's houses. And final headline, French mayor accused of spending taxpayers' money on fortune teller who tricked him into thinking she could talk to his dead father using her ventriloquist skills.
So she was throwing her voice and pretending to be his dad?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And he believed it.
Yeah.
So she must be a good
He not
voice
only
actor.
believed it, he gave her like a ton of money that he stole from the city.
No, keep it going.
And was like flying her and her family out on trips. This seems to happen. It's like, I feel like something similar happened in like Korea. And they had their own like weird fortune teller person. Nancy Reagan had a fortune teller who was literally influencing like President Reagan's decisions.
Yeah.
So of course, Rasputin in Russia.
First millennial president's going to have the tarot card reader there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Death card, is that good? Yeah.
Well, it depends. It doesn't mean you're going to die.
It depends on how I read it to you. I don't fucking know anything about tarot. So last time we brought up tarot, lots of comments.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna embrace my ignorance of tarot once again and say that I think the death card is bad. That way, a bunch of people in the comments correct me, thereby engaging in the video.
It's not fortune telling. It's basically like an early form of like psychoanalysis. Like they accidentally invented therapy with tarot.
Yeah.
By basically just like
calming people down.
It's basically you're like randomly generating prompts. It's interesting.
It's the chat GPT of the spiritual world.
Okay.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode. We will be back next week. But in the meantime, make sure you like the video. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you're feeling frisky, hit that join button or the thank button. I didn't bring the mug. Oh, well. If you want to see a video that was 6 years, 7, 8 years in the making, we got Trump being found guilty.
We got all libbed up for this one.
Yes, we did. And then we have our video about Google's AI, where we run through some of the funniest prompts and answers that were asked of Google in the past week or two.
It's fun.
So check both of those out, engage with the video, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.